Mr. Piana,
Laurent,
Yes, sir.
bow
round
down, up the fucking Chels,
round
up
of
the
applause.
Chels.
Wow.
Yo, what's crazy is that I promise you that wasn't even like scripted or coordinated for me and Murda. Like we just started clapping at the same time. That was crazy. But I actually planned on as soon as we started like recording to just start, just a little clap for man, because bro, you know, big up Chelsea, up the Chelsea, the boys in blue. I had to wear a little bit of blue today too to represent, albeit, come on, I gotta get the Gunners in there. But it's a little bit of blue to just show, we're standing in unity for 24 hours at least.
Yes, sir.
So well done.
Ah. Wow.
Up the Chels. There's no manager, and all of a sudden, Chelsea perform like how they should be performing. Up the Chels.
No Caicedo, no Cucurella. I don't know
No
who was in
Enzo.
who was in goal today.
Yeah, who was in goal?
Jorgensen.
Who?
Jorgensen?
I don't know who that is.
He's the replacement for Sanchez.
What happened to Sanchez?
Muscle issue.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yo, all man said Maresca's out. All right, we're using our call-in sick card today too, bro. All men thought they were gonna get battered.
Hey, at least your favorite defender started, Chimpong, and he had a good game.
I mean, he had an okay game. He had a few loose passes and a few heavy touches actually, which did create some danger for us. Um, but yeah, no. Apart from that, if you notice some of his ability to want to carry the ball, right? I think is key. So I don't know. They played him in the right back
Yep,
position.
yep.
Which was yeah, it's quite interesting seeing him there. But again, once Caicedo returns, I don't think that's gonna be where he plays, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently, Batty Shield had a good game. Is that right as well? I didn't
Yeah,
get to watch the full game.
Badishil had a good game.
Uh, Again,
Bro, come on,
nah, bro.
come on. He had a for his standards, he had a good game.
That's what I was hearing online too.
Yeah.
Here comes the Laurent famous line. Yo, why you gotta do that, bro? Why you gotta say it like
I think he still has a lot of room to improve.
that?
I'll say that much. I'll say
Yo,
that.
we're praising Chelsea. Why are you so angry? Up the fucking Chelsea, bro.
Bro,
And
no
it's
one's
on live recording. It's not like I'm saying this before the recording starts. You can clip this. Up the Chelsea.
bro, listen, man. No one's angry here, bro. It's just yeah, I think even our guy Abramovich had something to say. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he did say something after he got sacked. Basically trying to say that him, being forced to leave kind of just ruined the club, right? All of this. But yeah, no, man. We'll find our way back. We'll find our way back and see you guys on the 14th.
You don't sound very very pleased. Like you sound quite disappointed, or it almost seems like you guys lost the game. I'd be pretty happy with all the context of everything. I'd be pretty happy with a
Yeah.
point.
Nah, man. Like again, I think besides this game, bro, I think it's about more than just that, you know? Um, because right now, listen, it almost feels like we're reliving Abramovich, right? Being ousted from the club, and then now it's just managers after managers, right? That whole period, and it's just uncertainty for us at this point, right? In a position where we still have the Champions League, we have the FA Cup, and the EFL. Sorry.
Hmm.
So
Not the Premier League.
hmm? I say for the Premier League now, man. Listen, we're at 18 points off. Hmm? Yeah. So again, man, like just don't fumble it is what I'll say. You know, because that rock hot, super hot this time of the year. So
Cheers.
yeah, man, if you guys can maintain that, but I'm telling you, right, there's still people out there that think you guys are gonna drop the bag. So um,
I mean, we can't really say much because we have dropped from 10 points. So I'm just gonna keep smiling and staying in my own lane and
mhm.
watch the little guys, swing for the fences.
Like I said, even for Chelsea, man, if not this, then you know, trophies. So long as we keep racking them up every year, that's good for me. So we still have the Champions League, we still have the FL, and we still have the FA Cup. So we're not out yet. We're
So
not out yet.
here's the thing that I mean we're breaking down the City game, City Chelsea game. Um, so it was turn of the year. I mean, happy New Year to all listeners, viewers. Welcome back. Um, turn of the year. Chelsea and Enzo Maresca part ways, mutually part ways, mind you. And there was rumblings after that Bournemouth game that Enzo refused to come out, claiming Willie Caballero was claiming that Enzo was sick, but it was just because he just didn't want to do it. And then more and more news was coming out that he had conversations with Man City, he had conversations with Juve over the last few months, and he wasn't happy that he was the coach and not the manager of Chelsea. He wanted a little bit more autonomy. He wanted to, have some more control over the players and the medical staff. And there was just a bunch of things that Enzo Maresca wanted control over. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I am over the moon that Enzo Maresca is gone. Because I think if Enzo had stayed another year, maybe another 2 years, I think what he would have been able to do with this iteration of Chelsea would have been something that I would have been concerned about. Because he's already shown what he can do and how to keep those personalities in check. But now that he's gone, and there you guys are linked to this guy from Strasbourg who already got let go. Like I don't know if you guys have like looked up or heard of him. Like I watched a few like clips. He's apparently like super temperamental, and there's been videos of him on the sideline like cussing out players from opposing teams and stuff like that. That's not gonna fly in the Prem. Like Premier League refs will not do that. They'll allow that to happen, and I think like this may be controversial. Laurent, you can correct me on this. I think Enzo has been your best manager since like Conte and Mourinho
In terms of what?
in terms of stability. Not Graham Potter, not Pochettino, not Frank.
I mean, when you say in terms of stability, I feel like Tuchel could be in that conversation, and even Tuchel was let go quite early.
But his league finishes weren't good. Yeah, he won the Champions League, but his league position was terrible that year. I think you guys finished eighth, right?
Mm. Yeah, well,
Like, do you agree with it? Do you agree with the board pushing him out?
no, no, um, no. Especially, I mean, it's it's a tough one because I assume it was given that result, right? Had he won, had the game been won, he wouldn't uh, have been sacked.
Yeah, but it
And
seemed like it was a matter of time, anyways. Like on
Yeah.
both sides, like the
Remember a few weeks
relationship is
ago?
broken.
Yeah, remember a
uh,
few weeks ago when you were saying, there's some people in the club that there's noise and stuff like that. Like I think that was the beginning of the end.
hmm But yeah, no, but I will say that it has been the drop in performance as well. Because there was a lot of games that we didn't collect points in, And I think even the board, right? They're looking for results. Now, whether or not it was the right move at this stage, I mean, I guess only time will tell at this point. Um, but yeah, more so than not, I do think it was given the Premier League performances as of late. And you could even throw in a few Champions League games. Uh,
But would you? But don't you think this is a knee jerk like move? The guy won the FIFA Club World Cup. The guy won the Conference League, and now you guys are linked with someone who's managed like
yeah, that guy's
respectable.
managerial experience isn't that great.
No, like he played. I think he played for Bristol City, played for Fulham, played for Torquay United, which I've never heard of that team. Played for Reading. He played for Ipswich, then Hull, then Brighton again. He managed the England U20s and U21s. He was the interim head manager at Derby County. He was a manager at Hull City and now Strasbourg. And we're talking about Liam Rosenauer. Like,
Yeah.
is he truly better?
See, okay, this is what I will say is that if you're gonna sack Enzo, at least you got to bring in someone with caliber, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And that's where, right? If you're bringing in this guy, it just you might as well just have kept Enzo.
yeah,
Like, if you guys brought in like a Patrick Vieira, if you guys try to force Oliver Glasner, right? Like, I would be like, okay, sure. Like, I don't think Vieira would ever take the role, or like assess Fabregas with what he's doing with Como with such a small budget. I'd be like, okay, maybe, right? But this guy, like, what?
Mm.
And again, don't hear what I'm not saying. Hey, as an Arsenal fan, I am here for it. Long may this continue. Long may you guys shoot yourself in the foot. But as a football fan, this is the dumbest move that Chelsea could have ever done.
and again, let's get this clear. This wasn't based on footballing
No.
decisions alone, right? Because surely Enzo is a better footballing manager at this moment in time than this guy that they're about to bring in. Obviously, this is more than that. Obviously, this is a breakdown in the actual relationship. This is egos probably at stake, right? Enzo questioned things going on at the club or the board and the powers that be didn't like the fact that he may be talking to other clubs in the background, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, I think we can all agree, right, that this wasn't a decision solely made on the pitch and the results Enzo's getting on the pitch. Surely not, right?
Like if we
I would hope not. I would
like
hope
if
not.
we look at it from like the Barcelona result, right? Like if we just break it down, okay, the Arsenal game, you guys got a good point, 10 man. The Leeds result, okay, sure, but also keep in mind this is the same Leeds team that drew Liverpool, the current champions, 3-3. And Ellen Road isn't a joke. There's been a lot of teams that have gone there and dropped points. Okay. Then you guys drew Bournemouth away from home. Vitality. Arsenal were close to drawing, right? Bournemouth are no slouch. Yes, their league position doesn't look good, but they're no slouch. Losing to Atalanta, okay, I can get it. You guys beat Everton. You guys beat Cardiff. You drew at Newcastle, which St. James's Park isn't very easy to go to. Yes, I understand their current position on the table. You guys lose to Villa, which they were on their crazy form, and then you guys drew against Bournemouth again. This time at the Bridge. Like it's not like it's not like you were facing like a Burnley or a Wolves in that run of games. So like if it has to do with something on the pitch, that's idiotic in my opinion. Because I don't think those games, like, if Arsenal was playing those games, I promise you, you would have been like, oh, if you guys get like, you know, 21, like, I don't know, like if you guys get a couple draws, then it'd be a good result for you guys.
Well, I mean, I also think like scorelines aside, it's also the nature of the performance, I think also. Um,
Mm.
there's a lot to analyze in that. With that being said, right, I think it's been evident in terms of the errors that were made, right, under the team managed by Maresca, right? And there'd be times where, we look good first half, dominating, and then suddenly we switch off, right? So right on the football pitch, right, there are things that you kind of have to point out for that team that he's managed that have cost us, if we're being real, right? And is the reason why we're in fifth place and that many points off of first. But that aside, though, I think what CJ has mentioned in regards to just the re overall relationship with the manager and the club, I think is something to be factored into their decision. Now, if that is the case, well, now suddenly right, we find ourselves with a repeat of what happened to was it Nunez under Forest or which?
Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yeah, Nunes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and again, fire whoever you want, right? As clearly that is the Chelsea way, but do not bring in someone that isn't of same equal stature or higher, right? That to me is the issue at this point, right? Because if you're trying to do that, because you feel that the manager isn't performing to a certain standard, well, then you have to bring someone who we can confidently believe that is going to perform to that standard, right? And now the question is, can this guy do it with
Hmm.
absolutely no pedigree to his resume whatsoever, right? I think Hull City and who it's that French team, Strasbourg.
Strasbourg, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that he's currently managing. So, right, I mean, listen, as a Chelsea fan, I hope this guy comes in and right, he does wonders. But if he does not produce, the fans are gonna look at the board and have some serious questions. So,
And on that piece that you said, that there's a couple things that Enzo hasn't managed well, but like we've said it several times on the pod, and some of the results from the beginning of the season. There's only so much a manager can do, and what Chelsea are lacking is an old head on the pitch, someone who's been there, done that. Like we've alluded to Thiago Silva so many times, right? Like you need that old head to when you guys are going through that 20-minute phase of the game where the opposing team is coming at you, you need that old head to kind of get grab the game from the scruff of the neck and be like, hey, relax. Like we're still in this. It's fine. Or if you go down, just to kind of keep your head. I think that's what Chelsea's missing. I don't think it's an Enzo issue, like some of the poor results that you guys had and the performances where the first half you're dominating and the second half you guys drop off. Like I just don't think you guys had an old head to just kind of keep things level. Right now, is that Enzo because he's only the coach, or does that come from higher up and the recruitment and the type of players that they want to get? Right?
mm,
You see what I mean? Like there has to be some form of support. We'll get to it, but Amorim essentially had a blowout today too, or yes, was it today the press conference or yesterday? But essentially being like, I came here to be a manager, not a coach, alluding to the fact that he wants more support from the board.
mm,
Right? Like we make fun of Arteta and the building blocks and yada yada yada, but he's had like the one thing that he can't say is that he's had the support from the board
right.
and then some, right? Like if you like as an Arsenal fan, like I've been watching the pressers for 4 years straight, I would say, and his tune has completely changed because it was it 2 years ago, CJ, where he called out the board in January.
Arteta.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
a
was
couple Januaries ago.
I think it was either 2 years ago or 3 years ago. He fully called out the board, and then there was like in the early in January, actually flew out to LA to meet the with the owners to essentially ask for money to bring in signings in January, but they didn't go for it. And then the following summer, they got Declan Rice, right? So I don't know. I think Enzo was a scapegoat
Mm.
because I think he did you guys wonders.
I agree. Actually, I think that was a poor decision on the board's end. Very poor. But again, if it's more than footballing reasons, right? If it's not just about results, and they didn't just get trigger happy with the results and say, "Oh yeah, let's get this guy out because the results on the pitch," I think, if it's more than that, and obviously there's ins and outs that we don't know about. We're never really going to know, right? Some of the details behind the scenes, but like I said, from the rumblings that I hear, if Enzo's disrespecting the club in a different way, right? If he's fully being disrespectful, if there was a falling out that we don't know about in that way, and but for a couple of things I've been hearing as well is that he didn't get supported or backed in the way that he wanted to in the summer. He wasn't necessarily happy with all of those decisions that went on in terms of incomings and outgoings, and I can kind of see that. I do think he's a top coach, and I think that especially we've seen with the way Todd Bowley operates so far, right? Is he and those owners, right? They'll make impulsive decisions when it comes to signings, and that summer that or not the summer, the January that you guys bought Mudryk over us, and again, thank God you guys did that because we dodged the bullet there. um, that signing, I don't think had any strategy behind it, right? It was one of those ones where Arsenal's going in for this top guy who looks like apparently he's going to be a top signing. Let's try and beat them to the punch kind of thing. It wasn't a strategic. It wasn't something I felt like that was in the plans for months and months and whatnot, right? Or something that I don't know. The business model is not run properly there when it comes to signings, incomings, and outgoing. And personally, I don't think another example I have is I don't think that Enzo Maresca was too happy with Madueke being sold to Arsenal, to be honest with you. He said it in press conferences, I remember, in and around the Club World Cup, but right before the final you guys were in. And he wasn't too happy that those rumblings were going on right in the middle of you guys trying to win a Club World Cup, right? And when Madueke was still part of the squad. Enzo wasn't happy about that. He was coming on press conferences and say, well, Madueke is our player and this and that, and I don't know what's about all that other nonsense with the transfers and whatnot. I think the decision to sell Madueke, again, came from above Enzo, to be honest with you. And then just the rumblings about replacing a Madueke, something that we've all touched on many times on this podcast. Is like, what's the point of replacing a Madueke for a South American version of Madueke in Garnacho, right? Is he much better? Is he any different? Not really, no. And a couple of the players and signings that you guys have brought in, again, I've touched on this many times. Have they really elevated Chelsea? All that money spent, but the likes of Delap, João Pedro, with all due respect to these guys, Garnacho and Gittins, like, are these level raisers at Chelsea? Like, let's compare the Chelsea winning sides that we used to know. Are these signings that we're bringing in? Like, how much do they really raise the level and take Chelsea over the line? You know what I mean? So I can definitely see as well where there were some signings that I believe Enzo probably wasn't in favor of, whether it was incomings or outgoings, and I think that's where it started from. And we see that many times, like you said, Murdad. Ruben Amorim coming out and saying the same thing. Essentially with him wanting to be supported more, saying that, I came here to be a manager and not a coach. We see many times in many clubs where these decisions, coaches only have so much say, right? Or managers only have so much say because they're pretty much dealt with, they're expected to be dealt with things going on in the field and leave, the backroom stuff to the directors or the ownership. Funny enough, Unai Emery was the same at Arsenal. We do say as much as we clown the guy now, I don't think he was definitely fairly supported at Arsenal when he was here. He wasn't supported the way Arteta is, for example. So it just goes to show that these relationships behind the scenes, when it comes to managers and the technical directors and above, like, it's very important for them to be aligned, right? And Espirito Santos, I guess, the same as well. It's very important for that relationship to be aligned because it can go south really quickly. And then despite how good of a manager you are, you can be out the door when it comes to egos and things like that. There's only one winner at that top level, right? And again, it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are, especially clubs like Chelsea with those kind of ownerships and that kind of trigger happy mentality, like, they'll get you out quick. And I do think it was a poor decision in the end. It's an unfortunate decision because I think Enzo is going to go on to be a good coach in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Well, one ownership that hasn't been trigger happy for 6 years. The Arsenal. The Arsenal. Another win, sixth in a row, if I'm not mistaken. 3-2 at the Vitality. Scoreline, I think, I don't know. I think the scoreline made Bournemouth look a little bit better than how the game actually went because that second goal by Bournemouth was an absolute worldie. Like it was an unreal shot outside the box by Krupi. Um, but back-to-back wins, we beat Villa over the holidays, and then followed up with a win at the Vitality, where last year we lost 2-0 because of that Saliba red card, which I don't think it was ever a red card, but that's in the past. CJ, I don't know about you, but when I saw the lineup, I had to take a second to calm down. Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres starting, no Eze again.
Mm.
Uh, You know, we still haven't seen him since the blunder at Villa. Um, and at the beginning of the game,
Wait,
Gabriel,
he hasn't played since then?
no,
He's played in the cup, but he hasn't really
the
got Premier
cup,
League
yeah,
games.
sorry, yeah.
Mm.
Big Gabby with like I don't even know what the hell he was thinking. I think Evan Nielsen, told him he said I have an incentive. If I score a goal, I'll get 75,000 or something. He just gave him like you know, give him a ball on a platter.
So you think some match fixing was going on there?
Fuck, bro, that pass? Come on. He literally looked at him. He saw him and he still yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Honestly,
they're
I think that was one of those you coming back from injury, you haven't had too many games, right? So
yeah.
you're not adjusted there. Yeah, it was one of those mistakes that usually it won't happen, right?
It's funny you say that, Laurent. I was thinking the exact same thing for all the people that were kind of criticizing him. I was actually, funny enough, on the other side of the coin where I'm like, you know what? Like,
Mm,
a Gabby who's in the full swing of things, he's been playing week after week, week in, week out, doesn't
mm,
normally make that kind of mistake. He's
mm,
still trying to get his feet underneath him. He's been out for about 3 or 4 weeks. Like that I think that was a mistake of some sort of rust and just not really back in match rhythm. So I actually fully agree with you. That's something I thought of during the moment as well.
mm.
But he did make up for
And that,
it. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No, I was gonna say just that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did make up for it. Um, he is so dominant in both boxes, man. He is, yeah. I don't even know how to describe. He is so dominant. Both like the difference in these last two games of having Gabby back in the
Yeah,
both, it's it's night and day.
yeah.
Like when other teams get corner kicks, I'm like, I'm like, okay, whatever. What do you like? You're not jumping over Gabriel. And then when we get a corner kick, I'm like, okay, where's that song? Let me play that song right away.
Mhm.
Um, but anyways, the one piece the one piece that we were chatting about offline, rice and peas, rice and motherfucking peas. Declan Rice with a brace. Um, put the bet to any conversation about Rice versus Caicedo. We're not going to move the goalpost in any which direction. He definitely had all his protein. He had all his peas. He had all his carbohydrates. Um, yeah, CJ,
Yes.
6 points clear.
Uh, yeah, man. Can't lie, I'm pretty happy at the moment. And honestly, with my assessment of the game that I'm about to give you guys, I'm just gonna send something in the chat so you guys can follow along with what I'm referring to when I talk about these things. But first of all, I mean, yeah, from an Arsenal perspective, Happy New Year indeed. I mean, if there is a winner from this festive period, I would say it is Arsenal of all the clubs in the Premier League. The festive period can be tough. And I think we've shown, this festive period, not only have we shown the mentality and we've won our games, but we've come out the better side compared to all the other clubs. I mean, over this past week, like prior to this weekend, we were the only club, um, or the top six, out of the traditional big six clubs that won um, going into the new year, right? And midweek, we saw all those draws, right? We saw our big rivals around us draw games or lose games. And then it happens again this weekend. And you're thinking, bro, this is too good to be true. Like, once again, Spurs, Not that we care about them, but it's always fun to laugh at them. Same with United. They're not in our league right now either, but it's always fun to laugh at those guys. Spurs, United dropping more points again today. Liverpool dropping points again today. Obviously, Chelsea and City tied again today, so they drop points as well. But again, all those other, the big six clubs, they drew again in midweek, and they're drawing again this weekend, and we're capitalizing at the moment. And it's if you're from an Arsenal persuasion, it's a very good time to be an Arsenal fan, is what I would say. It was a very good festive period for us over the years. If you've been supporting Arsenal for a long time, or you'll know this as well. Festive period can be a nightmare for Arsenal. But it's been pretty favorable for us this time around. And normally they say if you come out of this period, the better side, just because of the difficulty of fixtures and the congestion of fixtures, right? This is the period where the table starts to iron out a little bit, and you come out the other side and you get a bit of clarity. I mean, to be 6 points clear, just over halfway in the Premier League season, festive schedule out of the way, that's a really good position to be in. And the onus is on us now to go on and to seal the deal, if we're being honest. So yeah, I've been pretty ecstatic this week. I think the Villa result gave us all that boost that we needed, because we've been on a good run of winning form, and then the nature in which we got the victory against Villa, and then to see City drop points against Sunderland in midweek, that gave us the boost that we needed. But it wasn't going to mean anything if we didn't get 3 points yesterday, and Declan Rice said it himself. Villa wouldn't have meant anything if we didn't win yesterday, and we did. We made it a little bit more difficult for ourselves in the end, but we won again, and the run continues. Now on the game itself, I mean, a couple things to flag. Yeah, in the first half, we spoke about it. We were messaging a little bit back and forth in the group chat. Wasn't fully convinced with some of the things that I was seeing in the first half. We looked a little bit like, the guys are out to drink on New Year's Eve. They had a little bit too many drinks, because we were not on it really in the first half. Bournemouth had a lot more possession, a lot more of the ball for my liking, and I don't think Arteta would have been too happy with that either. For a guy who's about control and about controlling territory and possession, we didn't really have much of that in the first half. It was pretty much a basketball match, quite back and forth. Many times I commented to you guys, and I wanted to make this point from a tactical standpoint for any of the viewers listening. Jurriën Timber, I noticed he was very much out of position, and I think that was instruction by Arteta, because Timber, we know, is a very quality right back and solid defensively, right, very disciplined defensively. But in this game, and not just this game, in the Villa game as well, if you guys recall, he was popping up in very inverted central areas of the pitch. So every time we lose the ball in that first half, at least for the first 25 minutes, and I'm talking now strictly this Bournemouth game, our right back is nowhere to be found, and you're seeing Madueke have to come back and recover, or Odegaard would have to come back and recover on that right channel to cover, because Timber wasn't anywhere to be found. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Obviously we're thinking, that inverted thing works when we have most of the ball, but we didn't really have clean possession of the ball in that first half. So we lost it a lot of times. And again, Timber's out of position, and we looked stretched a lot of times in our back line. Saliba has to come over and cover as well, because Timber's out of position. Like, it was, again, I definitely think it was an instruction thing, because it looked a little bit disjointed. It wasn't really working. I think a couple other players were off it as well. Zubimendi didn't have the same game, I felt like, that he had against Aston Villa. Certainly in the first half, I think Zubimendi was a little bit all over the place. His passing wasn't crisp. Obviously, Gabriel's was out to lunch with that pass that led to Evan Nilsson's goal. Martinelli did absolutely nothing. The less said about that, the better. Yeah,
Oh,
and I think. From a forward lines perspective, I mean, I said to you guys again in the chat, I said all three of the forwards could easily have been replaced at halftime. To be fair to Madueke, he did a 1-2 thing, and his contribution, his chaos in the box did lead to the first goal in one way or another. But I still felt like he could have done more. One thing we've always said about Madueke is he's good up until that final action, right? The end product. There's a chance in the first half where he got a clean look onto that left foot, and you're thinking, yeah, this should be, top quarter, bottom quarter, anywhere you want to put it, but he skies it over the bar, and I'm just thinking, bro, that's the opening you needed.
Bro, it was like me watching Laurent play indoor.
Bro, are you crazy, bro? Like, I'd have to see the chance he missed, but I'm telling you right now, bro. Yeah, like
You're saying you put it away?
But again, I have to see what the chance was. But I'm telling you right now, bro, my conversion rate has definitely been up to par, bro. So,
Did you watch the game, Laurent? I should have asked that at the beginning. If you watched
No,
the
I was
Arsenal
actually
game.
watching some AFCON.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. But
Okay.
I did catch some of the highlights.
Hmm.
And then in the end of the game though, when that whistle blew after the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yo, that was wild.
listen, we'll get to that. We'll
That
get to
was
that.
wild.
We'll get to that. Before that, yeah. So back going into the second half now. I mean, yeah, I think obviously that's where we turned it up a notch. Certainly. I think there was a number of better performances in the second half. A couple of individuals that I want to flag. I'll start with Martin Odegaard. I mean, he's showing now. I think the Martin Odegaard of last season. 2-3 games in a row now. He has that end product that we've been needing to see from him in terms of damaging opposition with that through ball, that killer pass. Influential in our second and third goal. He's starting to get on the ball more and dictate play more. And again, naturally, when he plays well, Arsenal plays well because a lot of things are supposed to be running through him, right? So that's not a coincidence there. I think he's been pretty influential in the last few weeks. Odegaard, partially why we're seeing, I think, Eze's minutes being reduced as well. But that's another story.
You're saying Odegaard had his rice and peas?
Odegaard definitely had, yeah, he's been eating his rice and peas. He's been doing some protein intake. Yeah, the shootings looked a little bit better. A little bit of zip on the pass.
He put away the purse?
Put away the purse for a week. Took out the weights. So yeah, good on him. That's what we want to see, man. He's gonna be big if we're gonna push for this title, man. He's gonna be big for us. But the main man in midfield, if we're being honest, is that man himself, Declan Rice and blood clot peas. Man, yeah, what can we say about this guy? He's a leader. I think we questioned at the beginning of the game. I would have, I'm pretty sure many of us, maybe you as well, Murda, would have said Liverpool on Thursday. Declan Rice, if his knee is as bad as talked about, I would have rested him for this game. But we played him, and it seemed like it was the right decision in the end because we do not win this game once again without him. He's just a leader on the pitch, man. Some certain players you look at, and without knowing them personally, you can just tell they have that aura, right? Declan Rice definitely has the aura. Gabriel has the aura. Those are two big players that we've missed in periods this season, right? Gabriel's been out for 3-4 weeks. Obviously, Rice, we missed the last game. And those two guys just make a massive difference to our team, right? And in particular, Declan Rice, I think at this moment in time, the level that he's playing at, we have to give credit to Arteta. Someone like me who's been critical of the manager, as you all know, I'm going to give credit to Arteta because he's transformed the way Declan Rice is playing, right? We touched on this offline. Rice was not playing at this level at West Ham, obviously. He was a different player, different position, but now he's doing the box-to-box stuff, right? Now he's not just that break-up play midfielder for a mid-table club. He is now box-to-box, doing it in both boxes, doing it at both ends of the pitch for a team chasing the title, and if I truly believe, as many are talking about right now, if Arsenal go on to, do great things this season, he could be up for a PFA Player of the Year. The way he's playing, he's carrying us at the moment. He's that talismanic figure, I would say, for us. So, yeah, big up to Declan. Slowly becoming one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player at the club. He gets it. You would think that he was Arsenal through and through from the academy. The way he's come in and he just understands what it means. He gets it. So, yeah, got to keep him healthy, keep him fit because he's going to be key for us achieving what we want to achieve. And the last thing I want to mention before I turn it over to you guys, Victor Gyökeres. I think we have to reassess how we look at the player. Laurent's giggling. And I want to, what I mean by that is when I say I want to reassess, I think we should reassess how we look at this player is we look at him as the guy to come in and score the goals for us, right? We all said Arsenal just needs that traditional number 9. If we get that 9, we'll go on and we'll win the league, right? Because that's the only thing that's been missing in Arsenal's team over the last couple of years. Now I'm putting this in the group chat again so you guys can kind of follow along with what I'm saying. Forget the caption on X that a man like Troops puts on the caption. He's he's obviously a little bit over the top with the caption, but the point of the image is when we talk about what Gyökeres is, and if anybody who watched the game live would have seen this in real time. This is in the build-up to the second goal, right? And Murda, you'll remember this portion of the game. Martinelli wins that flick on header, and it goes into Gyökeres. As soon as Gyökeres is in that position and gets the ball, you see 3, 4, a little bit of even 5 players swarm around him, which in that case creates players for others. And that's what I noticed that he's doing, right? Like, let's be honest. He's not scoring the goals that we want him to score, but he's in a team. He starts in a team that is top of the league 6 points clear. So clearly he's doing something right, right? Because in a position like this, when every position matters and you need the machine to function in, well-oiled machine, as they say, right? It needs to function in a way where everybody needs to carry their weight, and you can't afford to carry any passengers really in a title winning side. You know what I mean? And he's clearly part of that. Week in, week out, he's our starting number 9 for a team who's top of the league. So obviously we're doing something right, and he's doing something right. You know, um, and again, what I mean by that is, yes, he's not scoring the goals, but the way he attracts players, and again, this still image alone just shows it. And I remember seeing it in real time when he got the ball in that position. I thought he was going to get a chance for a shot, but instantly when I saw 4 players swarm him, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah.
he causes problems to back lines, right? And when you take 3 or 4 players out of the game, that leaves space for other players. And I think that's clearly what happens in this instance, because Rice is able to crash the box late, to put it away in the bottom corner. And obviously, if you're marking man for man, right? Somebody sees Rice running in, and maybe somebody sees and sticks on Odegaard, who plays the pass into Rice, right? You're marking your man. If you're aware of your other surroundings, that shouldn't be as clear cut as it was for Rice to just run in and kind of slot that away, right? You're more conscious, you're more aware of other runners into the box. But I think Gyökeres, being such a flat track bully, a guy who just he's very strong, physically imposing. It's going to take a couple guys to sort of get around him. You may laugh, but I'm being honest, man. Like,
Well, you saw it in the Everton game, right? Like Tarkowski and Keane, they weren't trying to play the ball; they were just hitting.
But that's been happening all season, right? When we have Marino up top, when we have, I don't know, even Kai Havertz up top. Respectfully, Kai Havertz is a different kind of player, but players don't swarm Kai Havertz in the way they do Gyökeres, right? Like, whether Gyökeres is a brilliant footballer or not, he's a presence that, more often than not, I don't see teams one-on-one defending, right? It's either 2 center backs are being pulled into him, or a center back and a midfielder, or a center back and a fullback, because he's just unorthodox, but he'll run through you, and he'll just cause chaos, and he just won't give you a moment's rest. Therefore, he attracts players towards him, which does what? Leaves spaces for others. And I think that's exactly what happened in this iteration of the goal, because he's attracting these players towards him. Okay, I'm Declan Rice, I'm Odegaard, I'm just gonna have that space and that freedom to just run in, and Rice slots it away in the way he does. And again, I don't, when we have Marino up top, I mean, nobody's worried about our number 9, right? So it's way easier to defend and be aware of your other surroundings when you're not worried about the number 9. So whether Gyökeres is doing the business in terms of goal scoring or not, I think his presence on the field is helping this team a lot, because it's creating spaces for the likes of Trossard, for the likes of Saka, for the likes of Odegaard and Declan Rice, crashing the box late. If you want to defend Gyökeres one-on-one, sure, but it's obviously not happening for a reason. And that's because managers are telling their teams and their defenders, hey, like, we're going to need to either double up or treble up on this guy, because he's not going to maybe beat you with outstanding skill, but he's strong, he's powerful, he'll run right through you, he'll cause problems. And again, it's freeing up space for others. So I truly think that that's his contribution to the team at this moment in time. I would love him to help him score more goals, but hey, he's playing in a team that's top of the league, right? So he's doing something right. And I think the way we're doing it, because there was conversations before, I don't know if you're hearing conversations before the game or that, about, Jesus is playing well. Jesus scored in the Villa game, scored a brilliant goal. There's no doubt Jesus is a better footballer. But prior to the Bournemouth game, the conversation was, okay, do you start Jesus now? Has he earned enough to start this game against Bournemouth now? And some of the debates I was hearing was, no, why would you change a winning formula, right? Lately, what we've been doing is Gyökeres starts 60, 70 minutes, batter the back line, batter the defense, tire them out, and then Jesus comes in and then sort of sees out the job, right? So I completely get that. Like, why change a winning formula, right? We're winning games in the way it's working at the moment. You have Gyökeres starting games, doing his thing, again, wearing down the defense, wearing down the opposition, and then you have the squad depth, right, and Jesus and then soon Kai Havertz coming back in to finish the job, right? That's tiring for any back line to work with. So my thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it at this moment. It's working. Whatever we're doing is working. You keep it, right? We need to reassess, I guess, how we're looking at Gyökeres. And if Gyökeres scores 7 goals, but we win the league, is anyone complaining? Not me, So I don't know. That's just the way I see it. And I thought it was very, interesting to talk about. And just to kind of bring up how we're looking at Gyökeres at the moment, and maybe reassess our expectations. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about that specifically. Laurent, first and foremost, because you're giggling away. I want to know what you have to say.
Okay, I do have I got a few things to say, but I want to let Murdoch go first, because I assume his points are most likely, I don't know, maybe they might not, but most likely going to support what you just said. So
Um, I agree, but I also think Gyökeres can do a little bit more.
Hmm.
I think he's getting some opportunities, and I think he can play off players a little bit better. Like he does have a really good relationship with Trossard. Um, I'd love to see him play off players and actually take those chances, and maybe, like obviously they definitely work on it in training, but I'd love to see him drop in a little bit more because some of the like runs that he's had where he's come off the left, that's when he's dropped in and pulled defenders out of their position. And I think sometimes he gets away from doing something like that, and especially playing in the Premier League, I think you have to be multifaceted. Um, like you said, though, I'm not worried. I think with the way that Arteta's managing this, it's working. Um, and I think for us going into hopefully a deep Champions League run, I think Gyökeres is going to help us more there than the Prem. And I think in the Prem, he's just going to be a battering ram. But like my worry meter is like at a 6 out of 10 with this guy. I don't know, Laurent, if I'm on CJ's side with what he said or not, but that's where I stand.
No,
Mm,
and I think, and I agree. Before Laurent comes in on that, I think another thing I wanted to mention too was I think that the manager is very happy with Gyökeres' contributions at the moment. Arteta's never been a guy to rely on one player to score all the goals, right? Last player we had to do that was Aubameyang, and that was before Arteta's time. Like Arteta very much come in and shown that he's a guy who's all about the team and the team contributions as opposed to relying on an individual, right? So the Mo Salahs, the Cristiano Ronaldo's, who one individual carries the team. I think Arteta doesn't really tend to show that he's all about that type of system. He's all about the team functioning, like as I said, like a well-oiled machine. Every cog in the machine is doing their bit, kind of a mentality, right? It's all about a sort of team mentality as opposed to an individual carrying. And so I know I can. By the way, the players talk. I heard Declan Rice did an interview talking about and praising Gyökeres. It's just I think the team, the players, and the manager are all very pleased with Gyökeres' contribution at the moment. Now I think when Kai Havertz comes back too, that could change things because Kai Havertz is an Arteta favorite. So I wonder how that's going to work when he comes back. But it seems internally in the club, it seems people are happy with what Gyökeres is doing. And so what I've done, I'm sort of like managing my expectations again. Like I said, it's just he's not going to be our 20 goal a season striker. I think I've accepted that. Pretty disappointing and deflating, but if he's doing what he's doing and we're winning games and we win the league, I really don't have much more to say. Laurent, your take?
okay. So first and foremost, I think I'll go with the picture you sent before I assess his performance directly. But I'm actually quite surprised, right? And especially if you're saying that managers are instructing their teams or the defenders to defend him in that manner, simply given the fact that, well, he hasn't put up the numbers that warrant that kind of defending, right? If you understand what I'm saying, um, you can justify that with a player maybe like Holland, right? And even that, right? Five players on one guy, I think, is just purely bad defending or bad tactics overall, right? You should never have five players just on one guy, right? Like, where's the space that those, right? At most, you maybe you have two, maximum three, right? If you're Messi, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So I think like first and foremost, even when I look at that picture, right? Like again, like it's like, are they trying to get an autograph from the guy? That's what I'm thinking, right? Um, but yeah, but that aside, now if we're talking strictly about Gyökeres and his performance, in my honest opinion, and I think most would have to agree, you're a striker. Your benchmark is scoring goals.
Yeah,
There,
yeah.
right? Like no matter how you slice it, you're doing your work on the defensive end. You're contributing to the cog in the machine, right? Your job is to score. Because if I'm Gyökeres now, right? And yes, I do this, but I'm telling you right now, if some guy like a Havertz or even a Jesus suddenly pops in and they start scoring, my minutes are going to diminish. You know what I'm saying? It's like all that praise that right, my players, Rice, everyone that's giving me in the media, telling me, "Oh man, you're doing great, champ. Keep it going." That's not going to count for much if those other guys start scoring, right? Because that's what a striker is supposed to do. So I think if we're being real, yes, it's good, especially given the fact that the performance, in terms of the whole team, right? Like, you guys are winning games, right? So, I think on that end too, it kind of lowers, right? Like, what
Yeah.
he kind of has to do, right? But if you guys weren't winning, or if you guys were drawing games suddenly, we'd be having a completely different discussion about Gyökeres.
Hmm.
Um,
I
but
agree.
yeah, no. So, in my opinion, he has to, right? Like he has to figure out a way, to put that ball in the back of the net. Simply because, for one, right, to maintain his position at the club. Right, because we all know, right, football, uh, it's cutthroat. You know what I mean? Like, you wake up one day and your manager's gone, right? And you know,
New year, new manager.
pretty much, yeah, pretty much that, right? So you can only imagine, right? Even for players, you know.
Oh,
So I think he does have to, right? It's understandable, right? I think even when you lowered your expectations, but if I'm Gyökeres, right, I would have to figure out a way to
But
sort of.
that's the thing. Does he have to though? Because as I'm saying, in this Arteta system, Arteta, since he's been here, as I've mentioned, he doesn't care to have a player like a Salah or Ronaldo, who's a 20 goal player striker, carry the team over the line. None of the strikers that we've had, even the aforementioned guys that you talked about, Kai Havertz and Jesus, they don't get the numbers that you want your title winning striker to get. Maybe Arteta is happy to have a striker who just does a job for the team, like
Mhm.
those aforementioned guys. They don't put up 20 goals a season, but they do a job for a team that gets results. So does Gyökeres need to start? Maybe
Well,
personally he might think so,
yeah, I
but
think I think more so from a personal standpoint, right? Because again, like, right, the nature of the beast that is the striker, right? A striker, it's a lot of ego driven, right? You want to score, you have to score.
yeah,
It's your
yeah.
identity at the end of the day. If you're not scoring, bro, I don't care what that looks like, bro. When he sees Rice put two, right? Like you got to feel like, fuck, I'm not doing my job. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good to say, yeah, he's getting the pat on the back, right? But I'm telling you, bro, that shit hurts because you're not fucking doing what you're supposed to do, right? And so I do think, like, deep down there is an internal dialogue that's happening, right? Because bro, like, you're a striker, right? Like, you score. When you score, you want to celebrate, you want to do that, right? But it's like, you can't even. See what I'm saying? Like, there's dudes that they spend their whole times practicing their celebrations. Like, you remember that who's it on Tottenham, the Ghanaian, Kudus. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
Kudus. And then the guy had like a chair that he brought out, and then
Mm-hmm.
they said no goal, and suddenly you had to put the chair away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, people, like, because you want to score, bro. Like, you want to take your shirt off, yeah, because, and especially as a striker, right? It just validates the reason why you are in that team and the reason why you are playing up top, right? You're leading the line. So I'd say, for more so for personal reasons, and even beyond just Arsenal, because you don't know where your career is gonna go, right? Suddenly, if you're not putting numbers, right, it diminishes your prospects in terms of whichever team can come in, right, after the fact, and scoop you, right? So he still has a CV to build at the end of the day, right? So for those reasons, right, aside from obviously, right, yeah, the team can win, even if he just performs the way he's performing now. But for those extra reasons, he has to figure it out, for sure.
fair enough. Fair enough.
What were
Uh,
you guys mentioning before you move on this? Sorry, what were you guys mentioning about the last play of the game, the 96th minute?
Oh, listen,
that was
I didn't say anything, but I just thought, damn, like, listen, I think I've seen how many games, like, I think if I can recall 100 games that I've seen go to the wire like that, usually the ref would let the guy put the ball back in the box.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was
That
I was
was
very surprised, And I think everyone was surprised on the Bournemouth side, right? But everyone was relieved when I seen the camera pan to the Arsenal bench. Shit, you guys were up there and celebrating, right? But yeah, I think
Hey
Bournemouth
man,
even the coach even went to the ref and was like, "The hell, like you know."
hey, 96 minutes was up.
Hmm?
96 minutes was up. Maybe we need to start adapting the basketball model, right? When the buzzer goes, it doesn't matter what time of the game it is. Once that buzzer goes, once you're overtime, that's it. Game done.
No, but honestly, bro, usually I see what you're saying, but the game
Nah,
is
you're right
going.
though. You're right. I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah. Like so.
Technically, they could have had that last play, like
Yeah.
you know.
Mm,
But that ref was shocking all game though. If you had watched the game 90 minutes, like
mm.
bro, he was yeah, he was horrible. But what else is new?
Around the rest of the Premier League, Villa they took care of business at home, beating Forest 3-1 to stay within striking distance of the top four, and now they're tied with City, who, as we chatted earlier, they drew thanks to an Enzo Fernandez late goal.
Hey,
Uh,
did Emery shake hands with the coach after the game? Did you see? I'm just curious, just asking for a friend.
he did.
Okay.
He definitely did. He definitely shook Sean Dyche's hand. And I don't think Sean Dyche is anyone that you want to fuck around with because Sean Dyche would kill you in an alley. Like that man is, you know,
Bro,
that's one.
that guy is
What?
concrete, bro. That guy is
Yeah,
he
that's
doesn't
one
play.
manager you don't want to fuck with.
Wait, where is this coming from? Like, it seems like you actually witnessed this guy do something that, you
No,
know?
no, no. But you like you just look at like some managers and you're like, that's a manager that I wouldn't want to fuck with. And Sean Dyche is that guy. Like you know, if I'm at a bar fight, I'm calling Sean Dyche. I'm like, yo, Sean,
Yeah.
you know? So but yeah, like we're gonna
You.
we're gonna get to it, but Forest have a huge game upcoming against West Ham, and Forest are they don't look convincing. They're 4 points out of the relegation zone right now. Um, yeah, Sean Dyche definitely has to get tune out of the players sooner than later. West Ham, my boys, Wolverhampton Wanderers, 3-0. 3-0 at the Molyneux. Listen, all they needed was to face Manchester United to pick up points. They drew with United at Old Trafford, and now they're kicking on. They got their first win. Derby County, they may still remain as the worst Premier League team ever. Yeah,
Yeah,
Wolves.
yeah, that's crazy. That is
That's a shocking result for West Ham.
hmm.
Yeah,
Shocking.
that's yeah.
Did you guys watch the game?
Nah.
No. But when I was checking the score, I was like, what? Three. Shocking. Uh, Brighton, not much to really say there. Took care of business, beating Burnley at the MX. Burnley looked to be better at home at Turf more than away from home, so nothing out of the ordinary here. They look like they're going to go back down. They're sitting on 12 points. I don't really see them getting out of that 19th slot. United, we chatted about this a little bit earlier. They dropped crucial points at Ellen Road, drawing 1-1. Amorim coming out at the end of the match, post-match conference, essentially the way that he was implying it, and I really don't want to take it out of context, but he's essentially implying that I came here to be a manager, not a coach. And he's implying that he wants more support and he wants a little bit more control with the signings and blah 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 blah. Is this the beginning of the end for Amorim?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Mind you, I think actually they're missing Embuemo right now.
Yeah,
And
they're
then
missing Embuemo and Diallo, but like look at Sunderland. They're missing like 6 or 7 players and they're still picking up results.
hmm, wait, Sunderland is missing how many players you said? Six?
6-6, yeah.
All AFCON related?
Yes, sir.
But are those six players key to their
Yes.
hmm,
We did this. We did this the other when we were breaking down AFCON when it was about to start.
oh right, right.
So they're missing Noah Siddiqui, Congo. Arthur Masuaku, Congo, Bertrand Traore, Burkina Faso, Reynaldo, Mozambique, Habib Diarra from Senegal, and Chesminde Talbi. So one, two, three, four of them, five of them are actually starters.
Hmm. Honestly, even with Man U, because I swear they were what, sixth place. So they're not even in a terrible position if I remember. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
sixth.
they're in sixth place, but like,
No, I don't. It's not. I don't. I wouldn't say beginning and the end.
no, not because of performances, eh? Saying the same
Oh,
thing that happened to Enzo because of the comments that he
oh.
said.
Okay, okay. I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Hmm.
Asking for a friend, can we call in Julian?
Yeah, we're at this
Mhm.
point. I think
Mhm.
that's we're gonna have to bring him up and get more confirmation on that one.
Beep beep. Hello, is this Julian?
Yeah, no shit. I'd be surprised if he even still watches them, because last time I was talking to him about it, didn't seem like he was too in tune. More so like, yeah, I know I watch PSG now, but
And listen, man, they're going to Turf more next week or this week. I
mm,
wouldn't be shocked if Burnley get a result.
hmm.
They've been playing like Burnley are no slouch at Turf more. So yeah, I don't know. Something's happening at that club, and long may it last. Long may it last.
See, beginning for me, to answer that question, is it the beginning of the end? I think it could be the beginning of the end, both performances wise and for his comments. His comments could
Hmm.
basically give the board an extra reason to sack him because I don't think his performances have been and results have been that great either. I mean, bro, to give Wolves their first points since August is a sackable offense alone. No one wanted to be that club. It was almost us, mind you. It's almost Liverpool too. But no one wanted to be that club to give Wolves, one of the worst Premier League sides of all time, their first points since August, right? And lo and behold, of course, it was always going to be Man U. Um, that's a sackable offense in itself. I don't care who you have missing. I don't care whatever. I think he tried to use that too
Yeah, he did.
in the press conference post that Wolves game. He tried to refer back to who he was missing. Bro, I don't care who you're missing. You need to beat that Wolves team at Old Trafford. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuse. So yeah,
Imagine Arteta did that. He'd have been scolded.
yeah,
He would have been
it's true.
scolded.
It's true. And I mean, they sit sixth at the moment, so it's crazy. I can't believe actually that they're sixth. It feels a little bit higher than I expected them to be, based on how their performances and results have been. But um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that goes to show the inconsistencies with the other teams around them at the moment. But again, they play once a week. They were already out of the EFL Cup. Nothing else really to play for. They don't play in Europe. Um, So technically, if I'm a Man U fan, and if I'm the board, the remit at the beginning of the season and the goal and expectation would have been get a Champions League spot minimum and maybe get a domestic trophy, right? For a club of Man U size and stature, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't think even Man U fans would be totally convinced with him at this moment in time. I think his comments are not going to help. I still think at some point he's going to get the axe.
Mm.
At some point.
A manager who may also get the axe, Thomas Frank. Just doing Spursy things, man.
Bro, that guy was getting booed apparently at the end of the game.
He's been getting booed for the last like 3 or 4 games.
Mm.
1-1 to Sunderland, and again, Sunderland just picking up crucial points, missing 6 players, and they're sitting in eighth spot, 1 point off of top five, 4 points off of top four. Listen, the manager of the year, the Sunderland manager, if they somehow finish in a European spot, like that's where my vote would go.
Yeah, either them or Brentford's manager too.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, but Spurs, there's not much to say there, man. They're shambolic. They're shambolic.
It's
You got.
unfortunate.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's unfortunate, man, because they got some good players on that team.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know, I feel it's a managerial issue.
Who CJ, remind me, who said it best? Was it what's his name? Certain manager, Antonio Conte?
Wait,
It
what do you mean?
is the DNA of the Tottenham.
Oh, Chiellini too. Yeah, I think Chiellini first started that. The history of the
Yeah.
Tottenham. Yeah.
It's yeah. It is the history of the Tottenham. And long may it last. Newcastle, Guimaraes and Malik Chiao helped the Geordies win 2-0 against Palace. Did you guys know Brennan Johnson got
Yeah.
sold?
Yeah.
That was weird. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You got what?
He got sold to Palace and he started and he looked pretty decent.
Hmm.
He looked pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't bode well for ex-Arsenal boy Eddie Nketiah because with Ismaila Sarr out at AFCON, like he couldn't take that position for himself. They went out and got Brennan Johnson. So it looks like the board at Palace are trying to somehow persuade Oliver Glasner to stay, but I think Glasner is going to move on to a bigger club. Like if Amorim gets sacked, honestly, if I was Glasner, I wouldn't leave Palace for United because of the way that hierarchy is. But Chelsea, on the other hand, if I'm Glasner, if Chelsea come knocking, ooh wee, I would take that position. Even Liverpool, if Arne Slot gets sacked, if I'm Oliver Glasner, I'm running for that job. Speaking of Liverpool, Lauren, how is your second team doing, bro? We haven't had this conversation for many months now. How is your second team doing?
Don't kill me. I mean, listen, that goal that was scored in the last minute,
Yeah, that was crazy.
uh,
Goal
you
of the
can't.
season.
Yeah, you unless like it's one of those what was the distance on that? I don't know, like, but yeah, if you're not defending that and a strike like that comes in, I don't think any keeper is saving that. For being real. So yeah, not much you can do apart from
30-yard strike.
yeah, 30 yards like that. I mean, it's like you got to defend, right? You got to defend. If not, you allow that right to happen. But
So you think the defending, because I mean whenever there's a goal scored, it always seems like there's somebody to blame. But do you think like maybe he could have been closed down more? I'm because if you're thinking about it, right? All of us are thinking from the TV at home and from Liverpool defenders.
yeah, no,
Yeah, buddy, go on, go have that shot. What are the chances of that is going in?
yeah, but okay, but no, you're right. You could argue right, XG wise again, probability, right, low probability situation scenario for that to go in. But you have to blame someone. You see what I'm saying? Like someone is to blame for why that for why that ball. And again, it's the defending. It's almost like in basketball, right? You're playing against Steph Curry and you're letting the guy shoot from half court.
But that's the thing. That's Steph Curry, right? You know
Yeah.
not to. You're not gonna. Most other guys, yeah, have that shot from half. You
Right.
you don't have those. This guy, who is this guy? No one's like, yeah, that's not a Steph Curry. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have those. He's probably going
Yeah,
over the bar 9 times out of 10.
that is true. That is true. But
But I'm looking at it right now. Sorry,
mm,
Luan. Looking at it right now. Like Liverpool. So when he got the ball,
mm,
Liverpool had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 players in the box to
mm,
Fulham's two, four, five.
mm. Oh, is this like off a corner or something? I think it was, right?
It was a throw in.
A throw in. Okay. Okay.
It was a throw in. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, where's Curtis Jones? Like, Frimpong. I understand the XG is very low for him to shoot from there, but he
Mm.
had acres of space to even keep coming in to
Yeah,
the
he
top of
did.
the
He
box.
actually, yeah, he could have kept going.
So, yeah, it's piss poor defending. Like, you got to
Yeah,
get out to him. You can't just have let him, like,
they went. They
wow.
got. They got timid. Liverpool. It's like they all went into like a
Wow.
low
Oh my.
block mode, right? I think they're all expecting the ball to come into the box.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
why
was
I
crazy.
would never understand that. Like in set pieces, how teams allow for players like on the edge. You know what I mean? To get like to even that to me is like I just don't understand, especially at that level where it's like you have to close that down like ASAP,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's what
man.
I'm saying. I'm telling you, they didn't respect the guy, the Liverpool players. They
No.
said, "Yo, who's this guy?" You know.
And can we applaud Cody Gakpo for a second, having a Richarlison moment, thinking he scored?
Wait, what do you do? Like he took off his shirt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He thought he won the game.
Uh,
Oh shit.
His reaction to afterwards, the camera panned to him after the full time result, he was cheesed. Because he has like egg on his face now. Basically, you do all that and you guys don't win the game.
wait, did it go to VAR for his goal to
Yeah.
be disallowed? Oh, damn.
No, no, the goal stood.
Wait.
So at 2-1,
Oh,
Cody
sorry.
Gakpo.
You're right. You're right. Oh, I'm talking about the other goal, which also that was onside. The one that went to VAR,
Hmm,
that was onside.
Mm.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
That was Gakpo scored that too.
No. I think it was it Verts?
Hmm.
There was a third goal that got called out, and it was a clear onside. But
Oh no, I didn't see that one. But the one Laurent, so Cody Gakpo scored in the 90th minute to make it 2-1. Then
Oh,
he
two
took
one.
off his
Okay,
shirt
yes.
because he
Okay,
thought he
okay,
had
yeah,
won
I
the
see.
game for them. To be fair, I thought the
Richarlison.
game was won as well. I'm like, yeah, this game's over. Um,
also, Arnie Slot, this man makes so many excuses.
Wait,
His
what you?
press, he's like, I I do wish that we could create more chances, but with players missing and this and that. In my head, the whole time, all I'm thinking about is, what if Arteta said this? What if Arteta said, I wish we created more chances? What if Arteta said, I wish we didn't have so many injuries? First, he was complaining about teams playing him differently. Then he was complaining about the fixture list. Then he was complaining about the travel. Then he was complaining about Salah. Now he's complaining about defending. Not like, dude, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, but what's funny about that statement, especially at this time, is that we're player missing, but who's really missing? Isaac and Salah. You know what I mean? And then,
Ekatike.
Ekitike too, to be fair.
Ekatike.
are you serious?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Oh, okay, because I didn't see him in the injury list.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ekatike
okay, okay,
didn't play.
okay. Okay,
But
that's
again, like, dude, you still have $150 million signing who scored a goal for you. You have a World Cup winner in McAllister. You have Sabosai who's having an unreal like. You still have $1 billion team. I don't know. Just I'm not. Don't fucking bitch and complain.
geez.
Fuck
So
out of
he's
here.
he's gonna make an excuse for next week, eh?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Well, we'll
the
see.
long throws and their set pieces. They're only good at set piece. Yeah, watch this bullshit coming out of his man's mouth. Fuck.
Mm.
CJ, did you make Igor Thiago your captain this week?
Not captain, but he's in my FPL, and I'm so happy I kept him in. Because funny enough, I was gonna take him out for Ekitike,
Yeah,
so I'm so happy I kept him in.
I had Igor Thiago and Declan Rice in my team this week. I actually vice
Gee.
captained Thiago. I captained Saka, so I got a little
Oh,
bit of
nice. Oh,
points.
you did well.
Yeah, I did pretty decent. But yeah, Igor Thiago hat trick at the Hill Dickinson game finished 4-2. Everton scored a late goal to kind of make it closer than it actually was. Brentford walked all over them. Brentford dominated the entire game. I watched
Bro,
the
the guy has
extended
14
highlights.
goals.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that's crazy, huh?
yeah, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, 14 goals.
You imagine he just surpasses Holland like that. Like you know what I mean? Like that's pretty wild. But yeah, no.
14 goals, and they're on a good run of form, man. Brentford are on a good run of form.
But
Lost,
he's Brazilian, right?
yeah.
But wait, is he called up to the national team or no?
They're
Yeah, no.
not yet. They're saying that he may get the call up, but I think Ancelotti already has his team set. I
Hmm.
don't think he'll get called up, to be honest. Because like this next international break is like ironing out
The World Cup stuff.
positions and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll get called up, to be honest. And if he does, good for him. I just don't think he will.
Saying that that's not the benchmark, eh? Scoring like double digits in the Premier League doesn't get you a Brazilian call up.
Fuck.
Jeez. And then you got men's like Martinelli, bro. Fucking kidding
Listen,
me.
man. If I'm Ancelotti, I wouldn't take Martinelli.
Nah.
But the reason why Martinelli will likely go is because of his defensive work rate.
Mm.
You think Ancelotti's gonna pick him? I don't know. I don't think
Mm,
so. I'll call Ancelotti myself and tell him don't take this guy.
check his passport. Check his passport.
He's
Yo.
actually cheesing me, bro. Fuck.
Um, just quickly, City drop points again. Uh, the bigger blow is not just the drop points. Apparently, Ruben Diaz and Vardiol picked up injuries, and apparently Vardiol's injury appears to be significant. Um, and Ruben Diaz apparently from what Pep said in the post match presser, he said if Diaz comes off, it means that it is something significant, but he hasn't spoken to the doctors. Doesn't look good for them. They have a tough run of games coming up. Uh, Brighton at home next. Then they got the Manchester Derby. So praying that it is a significant injury so that they can drop more points. But Lauren, are you happy with the result? Given the dialogue around the game?
But the 1-1?
Yeah.
No, no.
You think you guys should have won with everything else going on at the club?
I'll say this much because even like watching that game, Chelsea right now has, in terms of like the playing style, has three issues that I've noticed, right? So the build-up play, right, from the back,
Mm-hmm.
um, throughout the season, that's been a pain point. The only solid thing that to me that I've seen is usually the midfield, like transitioning from once that midfield gets the ball, they're able to progress, right? Now, the problem on the attacking end, which is the reason why we're not converting, is simply there's no conviction in these attacking players. We're being completely honest, right? Man, there's times too where we have the numerical advantages, and or sometimes there's even situations where you don't always need the numerical advantage to keep going forward, right? And that's why I've said even last podcast where you have wingers like the Vinnies, or even like a forward player like the Mbappes. These guys will, bro, they're the whole team. You can have the 10 man behind them, and they're gonna look to beat whoever's in front of them and try to go at it themselves. You see what I'm saying? But what do the guys like the Garnachos, the Netos, right? What are these guys gonna do? They're gonna stop and then look back, and suddenly now the other team has the whole defense shaped up, right? So conviction um, in the front is lacking, and I think that's an issue because even if we do fix our issues in the back, we're not gonna get the goals that we need to score, right? So yeah, so for me, that 1-1, nah, man, it's not good at all.
No, but surely you're satisfied to some extent with that. Because I would have been curious if we had done predictions for this game, like prior to, right? Considering the state that you guys are in, you have to use the context of the shambolic situation you guys are in, losing the coach, the turmoil. Like, did you go in thinking that you guys were going to get anything from this game? Like quietly, I'm sure you would have, said that we all would have predicted a City win. I don't know, maybe you're different, but surely you think under the circumstances that Chelsea are in, like nobody gave Chelsea a prayer, right? Nobody really did. And, like at this moment in time, everyone said this is the best time for City to be playing Chelsea, whatever. So with all that considered, like surely you have to be, like content with a point. No, like what did you expect? I guess is my question. What did you expect really prior to knowing everything that's going on?
Well, okay, but again, right? Like, because the issues I highlighted are issues that even when we had our managers, right,
Mm-hmm.
were things that still persisted, right, and that I've been seeing for how many episodes now, right? So yes, it's 1-1. Yes, the state of the club at this point, right, is in a situation of chaos. However, these are still things that you don't want to see your players do. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't. Despite that, I can't excuse, right, that performance.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when it's, to me, it's something that these players have in their control, right? You can allow yourself to be more courageous, to be right, to just do things that, right, like when you're wearing that Chelsea shirt, right, you want to show pride that, man, like I'm here to play, right? Um, so yeah, no, so, and that's why I'd say it was disappointing, right? Because you look at that, right? And funny enough is what happens if, they just do that extra thing, right? And suddenly, okay, you scored, right? We scored one. Could it have been 2-1? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like there's that aspect to it, right? Where, bro, we're not talking about like Sunday league players, right? Like, you're playing at that level, you're playing at that club for a reason, and there are expectations, right? So, I just can't let him off the hook, right? Despite all that. But I see what you guys are trying to say, right? That, despite the circumstances, that, just take the point, and walk. Uh, but I think it's different if, they did everything and you lose or you get a point. But when you're not doing what, like for me, it's like the basic things that you should be doing. I think, yeah, we that has to be criticized, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I understand that too. I just think that I don't think we would have. I think it would have been unfair a little bit to expect a different performance because we're creatures of habit, right? So all season, these players have been playing a certain way, and under a caretaker manager who's only been doing probably would have been told that, hey, you're in charge for the Chelsea game. You probably would have been told a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? So to expect kind of a different style of play or to expect something drastically different all of a sudden in this one game when this guy's coming in as a band-aid solution coach to do something different, like that was never really going to happen, right? You were the most you could have seen in this game was hard because it wasn't going to be quality. It wasn't going to be performance change that you would have seen to expect something different. I think the most, like I said, you could have expected was heart and fight and determination and passion, which I think, to be fair, we can say that Chelsea did show that, right?
Yeah.
That's what they showed at minimum. But for what's been going on, this all happened in a short span of time, in such short notice, in such short, days. Players are probably disappointed that Enzo left. Right, players would have been supporting the manager, from what I'm hearing, for the most part. So I think to expect a different level of performance in terms of style of play, patterns, and all that in a few days with an interim coach, I think is a little bit harsh to expect from this group of players. Coaches would need more time. A new manager altogether would need to come in to implement a different style of play that you and Chelsea fans expect to see. I would think, so this was just always a matter of the game came at a bad time because you're playing, one of the best teams in the league at their ground. So it was kind of like get this one out of the way and then build after this game. So I think personally to come out of it with a point in the end is a positive considering everything that's gone on. I mean, it's tough for a team at the best of times in the hottest of forms to go to the Etihad and get anything, much less a team in Chelsea's state at this moment in time. So I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the new coach comes in, and I'm laughing at him because people are saying that he looks like a PA teacher, like like I'm like, I don't know what this guy's gonna come in
Oh,
and I don't know what he's gonna
fuck.
come in and do, but bro, like good luck, man. It's looking kind of peak right now for Chelsea, but this result
And
will, what I think it'll do. The fact that you guys get a point, it gives you guys a boost. You saw what it meant to the players, by the way, and the coaching
yeah.
staff at the end of the game. It clearly meant something because they know the state that they're in, and so it'll give them a boost ahead of the next game. It'll give them a boost ahead of the League Cup against Arsenal. So a loss versus a point at least can make big difference, I think, in terms of mentality. If this was another loss, it would have been like, just kick them while we're down, kind of thing, like adding insult to injury.
Mm.
Well, a team that is definitely getting kicked down. West Ham, they're hosting Forest. This is going to be one of the games that we're predicting for this week's games. Like, this is as big of a game that as West Ham's going to play in a very long time. Must win if they're going to have any chance at getting out of the relegation spots. Like, even if they win this game, they still will stay in 18th spot, but they'll drag Forest down to within 1 point. And Nuno has to do something. And dare I say, if West Ham lose, I would not be shocked if Nuno gets sacked. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Nuno would get the axe if they don't win. He's won, I think, what, 3 games? 3 out of the 15 games since he's taken over? Like, that's yikes. For a London club, and they were complaining about David Moyes and his style of play, and you know,
It's a shame to see them in this position, man, because West Ham is a big club in England, you know?
huge club.
Yeah.
Man City. Do do we think Brighton has any chance in this game, or do you think
Uh,
Pep's gonna get a tune out of the players and just get them playing angry?
yes, I'm gonna say to answer your question, does Brighton have a chance in this game? I think they do. I think considering um, the defensive injuries that they may have going into this game, and then even regardless of that, right? Like City is showing some vulnerabilities defensively. We've seen that all season, and Brighton have the players where if City's not on it and they're not on their shit and they're even a little bit complacent, Brighton can punish them. They have the players to do so, right? Matoma, Welbeck up front. They
Minte.
have they Minte, yeah, they have certain players that can cause problems, right? Brighton is a good side, a good solid Premier League side. So if City is not on it, 100% Brighton will catch them out, 100%. And I think City they could be feeling the pressure a little bit too. They I know they've been there, done that. We talk about Pep and Holland, and they have guys experience who've been there, done that. But I think what Arsenal's done this past week, right, in the emphatic way that we beat Villa, I think prior to the week, City would have been looking at this week and saying, yeah, Arsenal could drop some points here, right? They've been thinking, yeah, the shark is coming. We're coming for these guys. Surely they're going to drop some points somewhere between Villa and Bournemouth away. But I think what we've done this past week, I think, has shown some warning signs, across the league and made a little bit of a statement and say, yeah, we're here, we're the real deal. We're getting players coming back, and City know they're in a fight. So I think they've been feeling the heat a little bit, between the Sunderland 0-0 draw and today, right? Like late in the game, I didn't get to watch it fully, but at the state that City were 1-0 up, and it was around the 70th minute, and Chelsea was getting the upper hand. The fans had to kind of start chanting, come on City, like try and get their team in the game and over the line, because City was wobbling a little bit at that point. So I think they're starting to feel it a little bit of pressure there quietly. Pep will have been disappointed with that result today. You saw his reactions after the goal went in. So I think they're feeling a little bit of heat, to be honest. And again, we talked about this a couple of pods ago that City is about to enter a tricky run of fixtures, right? So 100%. I think this Brighton game, if they're not on their shit, Brighton could catch them out.
And they play first, so they do have a chance at closing the gap. And we play Liverpool, so it's a huge game for them. Huge game at that Etihad. Fulham, Craven Cottage, Chelsea heading to the Cottage. Now the big question of this game, Mr. Piana, are you guys gonna have your new manager, the PE teacher, or is it gonna be the U21 coach?
That's funny. I listen. I got to take a second look at the guy to see where that reference is even coming from. But honestly, who knows, man? Who knows? January 7th, with the fourth now. I assume he would get announced tomorrow officially for that to even be the case, right? Because you're not gonna announce a guy on the 6th, and then suddenly he's managing the squad, right?
Yeah.
The next day. So if we don't hear anything about him tomorrow, I would assume that we're gonna have the U21 coach managing us again. But I will say, man, even the way he did set us up, it wasn't too bad, not too shabby, if I'm being completely honest, right? Even the substitution. So again, right, Fulham, I think, is of a lesser caliber than City. Both are away games. However, right, obviously you can't really think of it that way because
No,
right, teams do show up on their days, right? So, um, for me, it's just we have to be solid in the back, right? I keep saying that, but if we can figure that out, then I think we stand a good chance with this game.
Hmm.
Yeah, plus the lap. I don't know if you guys watched, but the lap was I was telling you before the recording, Merdad, but the lap was actually, I liked his performance this game. He was holding up the play. Um, he he was he was in there. He's winning balls. And he was making some good passes. So I think for him it's just right. getting yourself in better positions to score. But other than that, right, keep it up, and like you did this game, you managed to stay composed in a highly volatile situation, right? That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for, you know?
It's funny you're saying this. As you're saying this, I'm seeing a clip. I don't know. I'm sure you saw it if you watched the game. Delap pushing what's his face in the advertising
Loosen
boards. Holy! I'm watching
Yeah,
it as we
yeah,
speak.
yeah. That's the high volatile situation I'm talking about.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
some composure, right? Jeez, it's quite
No, so
reckless.
so funny enough, I don't even think he got the yellow for that. I think the
No, it's
yellow was
the after.
yes, yeah. So that even that push, I like that push. You know what I mean? Let him know. Let him know, right? Be smart about it, because I think the way he did it too, it was like you can get away with those kind of instances, right? And then after that, right? Like I said, it was about bro. It looked like these guys wanted to fight, and and the lap is there by himself, and bro, he walked away. Like I was very surprised because I thought, shit, not again, bro, not again. And yeah, no, so
Everton, they welcome informed Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, you heard me. I used inform and Wolves in the same sentence. Picking up a point at Old Trafford and beating West Ham handedly. Do we think they pick up points 3 games in a row? Is this even possible for Wolves?
A draw is possible. West Ham, sorry, Everton's coming off a bad result, getting slapped 4-2 at home to Brentford. So a draw
Right.
is possible,
Right.
I would say.
see the thing is, I feel like that's determined based off of whether or not Wolves got that win off of the manager actually figuring out how to set him up properly, right, and getting him to play more so fluidly, or if it was just like West Ham didn't really show up, and right, they just took their chances. Because even when I checked the stats, and West Ham seemed to have been dominating possession about like 70%. So it must have been like against the run of play counters, I assume, right? I'd have to see the highlights, but if it is for those reasons that right, the manager did kind of figure out how to get a tune out of them, then yeah, you know you never know. It could be a situation where they do end up collecting another set of points off of this game.
Aston Villa looking for back-to-back wins, bridging that gap to Arsenal. They're facing Palace at Selhurst. Palace again, they lost 2-0 to Newcastle. To me, I think Villa are going to be too much. Glasner does know how to set up his teams well, but he did lose Jefferson Lerma to an injury in this game, and I think it's just going to be too much for Palace. Um, I think Villa are just going to keep on winning because they look decent, even at the loss against Arsenal. Like you know, they're still a top side, and Unai Emery unfortunately knows how to set up his teams quite well.
I do feel like sometimes though they're a bit complacent on the attack. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. They
Yeah,
have the ability to put themselves in good positions,
yeah.
but they do have like almost like a nonchalant complacent, right? Like once they're in that attacking third, and I'd say more so, Ollie Watkins to me is culprit number one, bro.
Hmm.
Like that guy, he, oh my gosh, bro. Like, can you imagine? I don't even want to say Holland, bro. Like, give me like even like a Thiago, I'd say probably like getting those kind of. You see what I'm saying? Like like bro, you're that's like the opponent is just giving you like the feast. Like here, have it. And Ollie Watkins just does Ollie Watkins things, bro. So if you're saying that, if you guys are saying whatever you said about Spurs, and what was it you guys said? It's in the Spurs DNA. And I think it's in the Ollie Watkins DNA to be moving like that, because yeah,
Saying you'd score those chances.
bro, I'm saying you would score those chances. That's what
Hey,
I'm.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or as a knock. What? Uh, a striker who knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. Igor Thiago looking to build on a good performance away from home. They host Sunderland. Both teams are in good form. I think Sunderland are going to continue to make a push to stay within that top half of the table. And who knows, maybe get a Conference League spot. But depending on how the results go this week, Brentford may find themselves in fifth spot. If Chelsea can't take care of business and United can't take care of business, Chelsea, Brentford may be in that fifth spot, 1 point behind Liverpool, because I anticipate Arsenal showing Liverpool what's up midweek. So going to be, it's a good time for Brentford. Bournemouth, they're facing our I don't even want to say North London rival, because to be a rival, you actually have to be pretty decent. Um, the smaller club in North London, they head to the Vitality. If Spurs don't pick up all 3 points, does Thomas Frank get sacked?
Hmm. I think he's next on the list. I don't even
Next
think
on the
Amar.
chopping block.
Yeah, I don't think Amorim is like. I think that guy's next on the list.
Spurs currently sitting in 13th.
Mm.
Like, if they don't pick up all 3 points, because listen, they're sitting on 27 points. Even if they lose, the lowest they can go is 14th. That's if Palace wins. But for I don't know, when you talk about the top six, like surely Spurs can't be at the bottom half of the table. Like surely I shouldn't be accepting the cookies to see where they're sitting. Am I just being a hater, or like is there any
Well,
facts?
they finished what 16th, 17th last season.
Yeah.
So even if they're still in the second half of the table, but finish like in 14th or some shit, that's still an improvement, right? Based on last season. Bar is set pretty low.
Oh, you're such a fucking savage.
Hey, fuck.
Oh shit. Oh man. Well, that's sad. It's fucking sad for Spurs. Man, and here they thought they were relevant. Last couple games before we get to the Arsenal game, Leeds looking to keep their distance out of the relegation spot. They're heading to St James's Park. Both teams haven't lost. Like I don't know if like both teams are in form, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, Leeds haven't lost since November 29th.
Yeah, they're in decent form.
Like they're unbeaten since November. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty good for them. So um,
Yeah, that's a low bar that's been set too. Unbeaten, but they've 4 games drawn, one win in the last 5.
yeah, but for a team that got promoted, and
Yeah, I
you
guess.
know
Yeah.
like you're saying that they face United, they face Liverpool at
Yeah.
Anfield, they face Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, they beat
Chelsea.
Palace, they drew Brentford, they drew Liverpool at Ellen Road, they slapped up Chelsea, like annihilated Chelsea. It wasn't even. It was a total, complete, you know, demolishment. And then the last loss came at Man City. I don't know why CJ's dying.
You couldn't have just said they beat Chelsea, right?
No, I did. They beat Chelsea.
And all the other synonyms that went with it.
Well, I just had to make sure Laurent, he knew.
Yeah, yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, good. Just making sure 2026, keeping the same energy.
Mm.
Oh fuck. Um, Last game before the Arsenal game, United, another favorable fixture on paper. They're heading to Burnley, to Turf Moor to face Burnley. Well, like, does Amorim like? I know we just said Thomas Frank is the next on the block, but surely, surely United get 3 points, right?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do.
CJ?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Mm,
sure.
I think they do. For one, again, um, no, I think they do. I think they do.
On based on what? Like, what makes you think that?
Um,
They're just so inconsistent, man.
I don't know. I think I'm just betting on the name at this point. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
on the yeah on the
You've been. I swear, bro. You have a soft spot for Man U. I swear down, bro.
no, but especially bro, like against what was it second bottom last, right?
Yeah. I mean, the last time they faced each other at Old Trafford, United narrowly won 3-2. It took
Yeah.
till the 97th minute for Bruno Fernandez to get a penalty for them to win.
Mm,
'Cause remember, it was I believe it was the handball by Ekbal, I think. No, not Ekbal. It was a handball by. It was a handball, I believe.
hmm.
I'll tell you this much, guys. If you can't beat bottom of the league Wolves at home, any other result in the Premier League is possible for Man U. That's like the most certified 3 point banker. If you're a top six club, is Wolves at home. And if you can't get 3 points in that, then every game from here on out is, you know what I mean? Any scoreline is possible with Man U. You never know.
Honestly, man, listen, because you guys barely scraped by Wolves, if we're being real, right? Right? What legit? The scenario you just painted could have
Mhm.
exactly been you guys back in December 13th, right?
Yeah, Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool as well.
So, and again, if you guys were to play Burnley, I'm not gonna, like say, oh, Arsenal isn't gonna come out on top
Because
because
there's
they
a
barely.
clear difference in class between us and United. Like genuinely, not even just the Wolves result. Like just it's United. They've shown this inconsistency all season long. And performance wise, right? If you watch the Arsenal Wolves game over the 90 minutes, you'd say Arsenal deserved to win the game,
You know
right?
what?
On the balance of play. The Man U Wolves game, I heard Wolves could have even won the game.
They could have. They could have.
You know what I'm sensing here? I'm sensing,
Yes.
I'm sensing a new prediction. If you guys put the menu game on the table, because I feel like you guys
Oh my.
are confident that Burnley is gonna come out with something. I don't see why not. I think this is what the
Oh
viewers
my
want to
god.
see. It's getting nice and interesting if you're really confident in Burnley doing the business, because clearly you guys do not favor menu, right? So let's put the menu game on the table.
Listen, for me, it's not that I don't favor Man U. I'm just trying to bring a different perspective.
No, I
We don't
understand.
have the same love
I,
affection that you do with
I
United. I'm just saying it's possible, right? It is
how likely
possible.
so? When you say that, give me the numbers. What do you think?
70% chance that Burnley get a draw.
Oof, that's high.
Like for me, I still think United are the favorites. I would have said 60-40 in terms of a winner, like in United's favor.
So okay, so 60 that percent that United wins,
Yeah, yeah, 60-40.
and in terms of a draw, like
The chances of a draw, percentage
mm,
wise,
mm,
like the how do I put it? The most realistic outcome I think is a United winner between the three results. But I'm
mm,
saying it's closer than you think. Like I think a draw would be the next in line.
mm.
So
All right, well, listen, man. I think personally, I think they have to go out there and get the job done. So,
They have to. They have to.
uh, uh,
All right. Match of the week. Arsenal hosts Liverpool in the reverse fixture. Arsenal looking to set things right. Liverpool got a favorable result first time around. thanks to Dominic Szoboszlai's strike. CJ, I don't know if you heard Arsenal are looking to do a TIFO and make it like a European night. So the atmosphere is going to be, one to look forward to. We've won 6 in a row and currently unbeaten at home. For Liverpool, the only positive that you can say is since they dropped Mo Salah from the starting lineup, Liverpool have been unbeaten since the PSV game. 5 wins, 4 draws. And to me, I think the only thing that I expected, I think I expect the same exact lineup as we saw. The only difference is Trossard comes in and Saka comes in. So Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Capier, Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard. Raya is obviously in net, but I think Arteta is going to be a little bit more ruthless in this game. That if Gyökeres isn't, causing mayhem or doing things, I think Jesus is going to come in right away, second half. I think he's going to be a little bit more ruthless in this game, and I think this is one of those games where I think Arteta is going to try to get the same motivation that he got for the Villa game, and I think we win, and I think we win emphatically.
Oh yeah,
I think we win emphatically. Yeah. So I don't know what your thoughts are. I think it's gonna be like a 3-1, something like that, or like a 2-0.
yeah. I think. Well, for one, I'm very much looking forward to this game. There's a lot of things that swing in our favor on paper. Obviously, the game isn't played on paper, but if you look at all the factors and the narratives going into the game, like we got that extra day's rest. Um, right? Liverpool played today. And I think if they got a win, that gives them obviously a little bit of more of a mental, moral, psychological boost. But to concede again late would have been a sucker punch again, and that's a game, they would have gone into this game expecting to win against Fulham, right? But conceding late again, drawing the game again, you know, they're in a decent run of form in terms of they haven't lost in a while, but they're still not where they need to be. They've been dropping points where they should be picking up 3 points in recent games. They had a recent stinker at home. I think it was midweek 0-0 against Leeds. Um, no Isak, no Mo Salah. Ekitike touch and go, although he'll likely play. Listen, man, if you're Arsenal, you gotta go out and you gotta win this game. Kick them while they're down again, type of scenario. Like I said, they're missing a couple of key players. Not showing the best of form, still showing a leaky defense. And again, if you're Arsenal, you're thinking, this is another one of those games Arteta would have had in the back of his mind, those wrongs that he likes to put right. If we're going off of last season's fixtures, right, we've done well recently to win games that last season we dropped points in. And this will be another one of those games because last season at home, we drew 2-2 with an injury-riddled side. We drew 2-2 at the Emirates to Liverpool. And then you don't even have to go as far back as last season. Earlier this season, this was one of 2 teams that beat us. And I think that'll be in Arteta's mind and the players' minds. And we'll say, hey, these guys took an unfair, an unjust 3 points away from us at Anfield. Some will say, right, with the Szoboszlai wonder strike. So I think the players are going to want to put that right. And I think an extra incentive is we're looking to be champions this season. We need to dethrone the current champions. So let's go and show them, we're taking the crown this season, right, in this game. I think that should be a big narrative at home with our fans and our support. Again, Liverpool's still wobbly at the moment and players missing. I think there's no better opportunity than to go and deal with them now and get the 3 points and dethrone them, so to speak. They're already out of the title race as it is, but this will be the icing on the cake and the exclamation point. And as you said, I think I don't know if it will happen, but it will be nice to get another emphatic victory to make a statement. It bodes well in our favor that we're unbeaten at home. We've won every game at home in the Prem, if I'm not mistaken, aside from the City 1-1 draw. So, yeah, I think lineup also should be the same, except on the flanks, you bring Trossard and Saka back in for Madueke and Martinelli. I'll be curious to know if Calafiori will be back in time. Well, I guess we'll wait for the press conferences and whatnot. But if he is fit, I'm sure he'll be thrown in at left back, and rightfully so because he's definitely been our best left back this season, Calafiori. And yeah, the rest of the team pretty much picks itself. We get a nice little bit of rest, 4 or 5 days or so. And I think, yeah, 3 points is a must. And this is another one I'm looking forward to be honest. And I think just touching on Gyökeres for a second, um, as Laurent said, right, a little bit earlier on, in Arteta's system, you can get away with being a striker that doesn't put up the numbers. So, on that note, Gyökeres will continue to do what he does. As long as he shows the other performances, right? He's got to put himself about, be a nuisance, cause havoc, create space for others, hold up play a little bit better than he was. So whilst his remit in this team clearly is not getting 20 goals a season, from a personal agenda, man, you still want to see him score, and he's still going to know that he has to score goals. And I do want to see what better game? This is one of the biggest games that you would have ticked on the calendar, right? Arsenal at home to Liverpool, the champions. I do want to see a goal for Gyökeres in this game. It would be nice to just get him on the score sheet, get his confidence up, because personally, he is going to want the goals. So we need to, let's hope for a good performance from him. I do personally as well. I agree. I want to see more than just that flat track bully performance. I do want to see a couple goals, man. So yeah, get him on the score sheet, hopefully, and we move. This would be another big statement if we can get the 3 points. What do you boys think of Eze at the moment? We didn't touch on that, but we talked about it in the group chat. I mean, does he get any minutes in this game, even off the bench? Or I guess it depends on the game state.
He should. I don't think he will though, unless we're winning by like 2.
Yeah.
I just don't think Arteta trusts him right now. And also, Odegaard's form has been next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, for one, I'm just surprised that he's been ousted for this long. I'm being honest, but it is what it is, and I couldn't tell you whether or not he does see the pitch, and even so, for how long.
Hmm.
So, yeah, he could be he could be a key guy, right, in a game like this. So,
True.
huh?
I said true. If the game is close, right? The game is tight.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see, bro. We'll see. I guess it all depends on whether or not the guy brings his man purse or his woman purse that game. So, yeah.
Well, prediction series. CJ is sitting at 48 points. Laurent, you and I are tied at 46. Arsenal, Liverpool. I already have my prediction in there. I got Arsenal win. What do you boys think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arsenal.
Yeah.
Simply because I don't even know if Ekatike is gonna be playing.
CJ, you going Arsenal as well?
Yeah, I think regardless if Becker TK plays or not, we win because we managed to wrap him up at Anfield. He didn't do much against us. I was saying that, commentators curse. He may go on and score in this game, but I don't think that's the X factor in this game. I think even if he plays, I think we still would get the job done. So hopefully we do, but I am predicting Arsenal to win this one.
Chelsea visiting Fulham at the Cottage.
I'm going with Chelsea. And you guys are gonna go draw? Draw.
I'm definitely gonna go draw. I don't think Chelsea have enough.
Yeah, and Fulham is in decent form. Um, I'm gonna go. Mm, yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go draw. Yeah, fuck it.
West Ham Forest. I think this is gonna be the hardest one that we've predicted all year.
Yeah, genuinely.
It's at West Ham.
Yes, this is at the London Stadium.
Hmm. Is Nottingham Forest missing any players? Hold on, let me see.
I don't think so.
I think Sangare. Yeah, I think Sangare is not in. Jeez.
It's gonna be yeah. You know what? I'm gonna back Forest. I'm gonna say Forest.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's who I was going for, but now I'm not even sure.
because who knows if Paqueta is gonna play?
Well, why wouldn't he?
He was injured for the
Oh
Wolves
yeah.
game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first too.
CJ.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not looking good for West Ham. I was tempted to go draw, but I think yeah, the Paquetá thing is a big blow too. So I'm gonna go Forest as well.
All right. Well, we're back. This was episode 71, first of 2026. A little bit longer one. There's a couple talking points with some managers, you know, having some fun with the mic. Um, but yes, we're back. Happy New Year. Hopefully, hopefully Chelsea continues their joyful run and carousel of managers. City and Pep continue to do fun things, and Arnie Slot. I hope you continue to be the best manager ever. Um, anything else you guys want to add before we get this out for the viewers?
Yeah, from my perspective, not much more to add. I think again a little bit of a longer pod, but we didn't do Thursday because of the New Year, so there's a lot to cover today. Um, so yeah, New Year, Happy New Year to all. Thank you for sticking with us, and yeah, we have a lot more to bring in 2026. Hopefully, it's the year of the Arsenal. Um, I'm sure all three of us, and I do include all three of us, would love that to happen um, on this pod. So yeah, man, we will be there. We will be there indeed. Like and subscribe as usual. Do all the YouTubey stuff, the typical YouTubey stuff that you're supposed to do. Like, subscribe, hype, and yeah, more content to come.
Mr. Piana, final say. You can take us away.
Well,
What's so funny,
sorry.
man?
Yeah, it's just I didn't know you were into like stand-up comedy, you know? But I will say this though. Yeah. Again, Happy New Year to everyone. Wishing everyone a good and successful year, lots of health and all that good stuff. Also wishing us at Chelsea, right? Some stability for the new year, and some prosperity. And I'm sure all three of you, or all three of us, also are on board with that. Um, and other than that, like my co-hosts have said, like and subscribe, and see you all on the next pod with my second team's, as Murdoch likes to say, when my Liverpool kit, after Slot does the business, if he does the business actually. And yeah, And I want to see actually Murdad retract a bit of his initial comments on Slot that your onslaught that you have been giving us at the beginning of the season. So be ready for that
Mm.
if you guys do not get the victory, because you're at home. So yeah. But other than that, though, cheers to everyone.
Right. Adios.
Mm.